So the aim of the Digital Inclusion Review was to create a single overview of what organisations are doing to support people to get online across Wales, and then to understand how Wales's approach compares to other nations. We basically wanted to know how Welsh Public Services are tackling digital exclusion. The Digital Inclusion Review has now been finished, and we're working on getting a directory with all of our data online to be hosted on Datamap Wales. So digital inclusion is mission 2 of the digital strategy for Wales. It's defined in that as equipping people with the motivation, access, skills and confidence to engage with an increasingly digital world based on their needs. So really, it's about helping people to understand and access the benefits of being online. So we've spoken to a range of organisations delivering digital inclusion support. That's included local government, Welsh government, third sector and businesses. I think the review's really highlighted how much interest and focus there is on tackling digital exclusion at the moment. I think it's a really good example of organisations across government, the private sector and the third sector working together. We've also spoken to digital inclusion leads across the UK home nation. So we've spoken to the UK government, Scottish government and the Northern Ireland executive. So there's loads of stuff happening right across Wales. We found activities in 6 particular categories. So that's supporting people to develop basic digital skills, gifting or loaning discounted devices, directly assisting people to use digital services, ensuring everyone can access and afford broadband, training people on digital skills for work, and then finally helping people to get adjustments to their digital devices where they need that to get online. The most common things that we've seen have been organisations helping people with training on basic digital skills. So for example, training on how to use the internet or how to send emails. And then the second most common activity we've seen is gifting or loaning devices. So that's where organisations are giving people laptops or mobile phones, for example, that they can use to get online. So the data will be used in a few ways. Initially, the Welsh Government Financial and Digital Inclusion team is taking on this review in the future. So they will use the findings from this to guide policy on digital inclusion. More widely, we're making the data publicly available so that those who are delivering digital inclusion support can see what else is happening, and so that the public can see what support might be available near them. Though I would say that the list is not exhaustive, but it does give a really good sense of what is out there. So I think for me, the most interesting findings have been about the different approaches to digital inclusion taken across the UK. So both Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland have all taken quite a similar approach, all setting up centrally funded organisations to lead on digital inclusion support. So within Wales, that's the Digital Communities Wales. Then in Scotland, you've got Connecting Scotland, and in Northern Ireland, you've got Go On NI. On the other hand, England has a much less centralised approach, with most of their support being provided through government departments such as the Department for Work and Pensions and the Department for Education, rather than a centralised programme like in the other nations. However, it's interesting then to look at those 3 centralised programmes and see how they're also a little bit different. So Go On NI is a much smaller programme, offering training support through libraries. Digital Communities Wales and Connected Scotland are both much larger, both providing training and helping people to get access to devices. But where Wales has generally loaned devices to people, Connecting Scotland has actually given devices to thousands of people across Scotland.